Both campaigns are bringing out the celebrities in their final push for Donald Trump in Wisconsin, Green Bay legend Brett Favre, and the wholehearted endorsement of legendary astronaut Buzz Aldrin. Today, Puerto Rican superstar Jennifer Lopez will join Kamala Harris at a Las Vegas rally, and Jennifer Aniston posting this photo after she said she voted for Harris and Walz. CNN's Elizabeth Wagmeister is joining us now. We've seen singers and actors and athletes hitting the trail with their respective candidates, but we've also seen this. There's at least one who is publicly, and he's mad, rescinding his endorsement. Tell us about it.
That's right, Sarah. So yesterday, Puerto Rican reggaeton superstar Nicky Jam rescinding his endorsement of Trump. You may remember that last month in September, he joined the former president at a rally in Las Vegas. He was wearing a red MAGA hat and he gave his endorsement. Well, after the remarks at Madison Square Garden, which of course have angered so many Latinos around the country, Nicky Jam then posting on his Instagram yesterday a video saying that he is no longer supporting President Trump. Let's take a look.
La razón por la cual yo apoyé a Donald Trump era porque yo pensé que era lo mejor para la economía en los Estados Unidos, donde viven muchos latinos, vivimos muchos latinos, me incluyo, muchos inmigrantes que están sufriendo por la economía, y él siendo negociante pensé que era el mejor movimiento. Nunca en mi vida pensé que un mes después iba a venir un comediante a criticar a mi país y a hablar mal de mi país, y por ende renuncio a cualquier apoyo a Donald Trump.
Now, he is one of many stars who are Puerto Rican, including Bad Bunny, Jennifer Lopez, who, as you said, is going to join Harris tonight at a rally, Mark Anthony, Luis Fonsi. So the list goes on. And these are huge stars who have huge impact. But as we see here, there are stars also coming out for former President Trump. In fact, even though it seems like most celebrities are aligned with Harris, and that is the truth, Hollywood typically backs the Democratic candidate, Trump actually has more celebrity support than ever, Sarah. But yesterday, there was a big surprise. Arnold Schwarzenegger saying he's choosing country over party, backing Harris.
All right, Elizabeth Wagmeister, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Trump is again claiming that he knew nothing about the comedian at his MSG rally who called Puerto Rico garbage. But multiple Latin celebrities have called out Trump over it. And now there's another. The difference this time, it was someone who was firmly in his camp. Reggaeton superstar Nicky Jam is now pulling out from his Trump endorsement. The same Nicky Jam that appeared on stage with Trump just a month ago, decked out in a MAGA hat. He now says Puerto Rico should be respected. Joining us now, former Democratic Congressman Joe Crowley, CNN political analyst Laura Barron Lopez, and Republican strategist Joe Pinion here as well. Glad to have you all here. I'll begin with you, Joe, because obviously this is not where they want to be right now, talking about this in the final, almost now 5 days away. Harris was closing her rally tonight with a swipe at Donald Trump and a promise to be a president for everyone. Listen to this.
Unlike Donald Trump, I don't believe people who disagree with me are the enemy. He wants to put them in jail. I'll give them a seat at my table. And I pledge to always put country above party and self, and to be a president for all Americans.
So, Joe Crowley, in these last 6 days, can she recover, not from her own statements, but from Biden's gaffe?
Well, I was there last night. I was one of the 75,000 people, along with my wife, and it was powerful to be there with those folks. And listen, look, you know, the reality is that there's not a bad bone in Joe Biden's body. He's a decent, honorable person. He's had gaffes in the past. He continues to have them, and that's unfortunate. At the same time, Donald Trump, just a month ago, described Democratic supporters of Kamala Harris as scum and as garbage. And there wasn't a blink of an eye from anyone. It's only when poor Joe Biden says something off script and inaccurately that people jump up and down. And he clarified and said that's not. He was talking about the people at that rally, the disgusting rally that took place this last weekend in Madison Square Garden. And look, you know, is this what you want to talk about? No, but at the same time, it's not going to change the fact that Trump's people disparage Puerto Rico, disparage the Puerto Rican people, and that is going to have an impact on this election.
Joe Pena, let me go to you for a second, too, because many people have viewed Trump's now criticism of Harris as a stone thrown by a man that lives in a very big glass house. Why do you think he is choosing to seize on this particular moment in the way that he has?
As a firm reminder to Republican voters all across this country that from 2016 and beyond, that there has been public contempt for any and everyone that has supported President Trump, that has continued to support the Republican Party. And so, look, I would tend to agree with former Congressman Crowley. Yes, Joe Biden has had many gaffes, but it is not his gaffes alone that Republicans arrive at this conclusion. It's when they're being called deplorables, when every single Republican was labeled an insurrectionist, when we have people saying that every single black person that supports President Trump should be looked at quite strangely. All skin folk are not kinfolk. So there has been a permission structure that has been created in this country, in the media, that permeates the political left, that does allow for Republicans to be disrespected. So we are not going to be having a conversation about reaching the high ground of civility over the next 6 days. It's not going to happen. We need to have it over the next 10 years. But if we're talking about this election, I think we should just be honest about the fact that that disrespect has been flying for a very long time out of check.
Well, Laura, let me bring you into this conversation because I wonder if it's satisfactory to the American voters to go, oh, but you both do something wrong, therefore they cancel it out. Or they look at this in a very different way. And frankly, Harris has come out to say, as we played it tonight, that she wants to be a president for all. I remember the Fox News interview with Bret Baier. She wouldn't take the bait to try to say something disparaging about Trump voters. So how do you contextualize this in terms of how the Harris campaign needs to address this? Have they done enough?
I think she's certainly done a lot. I mean, look, these two instances are completely different. But it's just objectively factual. Kamala Harris, her entire campaign has been saying that she wants Republican votes, that she wants moderate Republicans to vote for her, that she surrounds herself with Republicans that are super conservative like Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger, and that she is going to put a Republican in her cabinet. She has made very clear that she wants all of their votes and that she wants to represent everyone. Donald Trump has a pattern of calling Democrats and Americans, fellow Americans, enemies from within. That echoes Nazi rhetoric. Saying that Democrats are enemies. These are fellow Americans again. Fellow Americans are enemies that are worse than authoritarian leaders like Putin. Those are all statements that Donald Trump has made. And when, in terms of impact, I was texting with voters today that I've kept in touch with in swing states. I was texting with a two-time Trump voter in Arizona, a woman who said that she's now decided, she hadn't been for the months leading up to the election, she's going to vote for Kamala Harris. And she said that a lot of it had to do with just Donald Trump's rhetoric in the entire lead up to the election. And that's someone who voted for him twice. And she was aware of Biden's comments, and she said that that's not what she's heard from Harris this entire time, so she didn't think Harris was responsible for Joe Biden's comments. And then also, in terms of the impact of the Puerto Rican racist joke, is that I've been texting with Puerto Ricans in Allentown. Allentown has more than 50,000 Puerto Ricans that live in it. Pennsylvania has hundreds of thousands of Puerto Ricans that live in it, a swing state. And seems to have broken through there. And a lot of them in those communities are not happy with those comments. Some Spanish language radio disc jockey that I was talking to there in Allentown said that he has Puerto Ricans calling in saying that they weren't necessarily motivated to vote before, they were a bit apathetic, that they're going to vote now. So in terms of actual impact on voters, it appears as though the racist Puerto Rican jokes is having more of an impact on voters than Joe Biden's gaffe.